another episode of True Self, and I'm here with Curtis Bryant. And I am excited to talk to him about something that's been on my heart for a long time. I have been, let's see how to explain this. I decided to go on dating websites last year, and my therapist was so happy for me.
Yeah.
She was very much like, oh, my prayers has been answered. And I was just like...
Oh my God, are you friends with your therapist?
Yeah.
I love that. No, I think it's important to be friends with your therapist. That's why I like that,
yeah.
I like that engagement with my therapist.
But sometimes I feel like she gets too crazy about me wanting to be with someone.
Oh, understood. Projection.
Yeah, that's what it is. And she was married like 2 or 3 times already.
Okay.
So sometimes when I hear how many times someone's been married, it throws me off a little bit.
Heard you.
So today we're gonna be talking about self-worth while dating. And when I meditated about this, I thought about Curtis. I don't know why, I just thought about you because I feel like your content is very much about self-love.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
I feel like a lot of the things you talk about too is very much like finding who you are, true to who you are. Something along the lines of how I kind of take on this podcast too a little bit.
Yeah.
So finding the true self to yourself.
I love that. Finding the true self to yourself. Yeah, I love that.
So I was wondering, are you currently like dating?
I am not. I'm single, and it's so cool to be in this like season where I am so happy to be single. And I had this really funny moment. I went to get my first the first dose of my monkeypox vaccine.
Really?
Yes, I went to get it, and the woman, she was so sweet, and she was like, "This is great that you're getting it." She was like, "Is your partner getting it as well?" Which was also interesting too, because I'm also usually not affirmed in that way. I don't know what that affirmation would be called, but in relationship. Right. I've never been affirmed couple, whatever that means, whatever.
Okay.
So she did that, and then I was like, oh no, I'm single, thank God. And
thank God.
I said thank God, or like
Okay.
good, or yeah, I probably said thank God. And she took it as me saying like, oh no love, like X love, F love. And I said, oh no, I love love, but in this season, like especially with me being there to get the vaccine, I'm like, it's really awesome to be single in this season because I only have to worry about my body and about myself, right? I don't have to have an awkward conversation if my partner doesn't want to get the vaccine or whatever, right? Like in this singlehood, I get to worry about myself and I get to make this decision for myself, which is really cool for me because normally I don't know if I can remember the last time I affirmed like how important it is for me to be single right now. And I've also like put it in the back, which is also different for me as I'm like preparing for transformation and just changes in my life. But I can tell I put it in the back burner because when people do talk about relationships with me, I'm literally sitting there just like listening and finally going, wow, not that I don't have anything to offer, but because I'm not dating, I don't really need to engage as much as I think I should. Or as much as I was before, pretending. Right? Yeah. Pretending. So now I'm just like,
that's a good word.
You're talking about your dating life. Cool. Like, I can just listen. I don't have to go, well, let me tell you a story about when, like, we don't have to do that. And
no, it's so true.
We don't have to. My dad told me when I was younger, he always said, growing up, you're going to meet a lot of people who just talk to hear themselves speak. Don't be one of those people.
I wish somebody would have told me that.
Mind you, my dad talks a lot, but he talks a lot and he's so consistent. He calls me every day. So he's a talker. He's a communicator.
Oh, cool.
But he's like, if you are going to communicate, as long as you're talking about something, and it's like contributing to the space that you're in or whatever, then okay. But if you're just talking to be heard, that's what therapy's for. But then my dad doesn't also believe in therapy. So that's another video for another time.
When's the last time you dated?
The last time I dated for real was last year. It was last year?
Mm-hmm.
Was it last year?
Was it? I don't know.
What are we in?
This is 2022.
22?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 2021. It was 2021.
Okay. How was your
Oh my
headspace
God.
during that time?
Oh my God, that relationship was. Oh my God, that one was crazy.
Okay.
Because it happened really fast. It only lasted 6 months.
Wow.
But I was finally in relationship with someone. We weren't like official or anything, not that I know of, but it was consistent enough. But the difference was this one included prayer.
Okay.
We prayed to get together every day, and so when we broke up, I was like, oh shit. Oh, can I curse?
Yeah.
Oh, I can curse. Okay, cool.
I curse also.
Because I think it's important to say that, because as Christian, and I know you also are Christian too, we can come out of situations disappointed, especially when God was present. Right? So that breakup was extremely hard for me, because I was like, but God, you were there. Now I could see it if it was something where I never included God never showed up, or but you were there.
Yeah.
And it still didn't work. And I said, oh, I don't like the way that feels. My stomach hurts. Like, it really hurt me.
Wow.
And the person ended up, what I learned and saw was that the person did like move on quickly.
Yeah.
So I was like even more hurt. Like I felt like I got hit by a car or something. Like, it was like, ugh. I was like, ooh. I was like, oh, that hurts. I don't like that feeling.
So what was it that actually, like, what do you feel like your state of mind was in that last relationship?
It was, I was nervous. I was excited. I felt really sexy too. I felt like the man. And not in this, like, because I know a lot of people may think, like, in terms of same-sex relationships, especially between men, they're always like, one's the man, one's the one's, but honestly, just like, manhood is a thing, right? Like, just manhood, right? Like, even if someone identifies as queer, manhood is still a thing. We're having a sun shower right now.
We are.
And that's a sign that manhood is a thing and that God is listening, because the sun is still out too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I felt like a leader. I felt like a man, but I also felt sexy. I felt inspired and nervous too, but I had fun.
All right. I think that's important. Did you feel like you, after the hurt, you felt like your maturity has grown throughout it?
Absolutely. I mean, I had no choice, right? Like, we know that God uses certain things, and he definitely used that. I had to adapt quickly to feelings that don't feel good. But again, I had to remind myself that God, if you were, and I think Torrey Roberts, I think I heard Torrey say this, but if God was in that, if God was like in it, then God would be out of it too, right? Like, he would also be
right.
He would also be out of the breakup. Like, he would also be a part of the breakup as well as the relationship. So, yeah, I mean, it hasn't been the easiest, but I had to get past it. But it also, on a positive note, it made me realize how much I had grown, and also that God could be a part of my relationships too. Because that's sometimes hard to find too.
Yes, I feel like I always go back and forth about, like, do I date a Christian? What's that's gonna look like? That's something I always go back and forth. But then I attend a new church called Bridge Church, and he talked about that, and I was like, oh, thank God. He's like, if anybody strays you away from God, that's gonna be an issue.
Period.
So it made me kind of understand what now to do when you're dating a non-Christian person.
Yes. Or someone who just doesn't believe as hard as you, right? Because they're
different.
There's levels.
Oh, that levels thing.
There's
Okay.
levels to the thing, right?
Okay.
Like, I don't need you to be, I don't know. It's subjective to the person and to the experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'll share this story real quick. So I was on TikTok, and there was this really cute guy who had like, he posted this video and he said, doesn't it suck like when you want to date but you feel like you don't have the funds to do it, the financial stability to do it? And so I don't know him, we don't know each other. So he made that video. So I wrote something cute and was like, you know, we can I was like, we can court each other with what we have and create abundance together. A little flirty,
Mm-hmm.
Again, we don't know each other. I guess he goes to my page on the TikTok because, you know, I share like prophetic words and positive messaging. He comments back and says, that sounds great, but my perfect person won't be religious. And I said, I'm religious. I'm religious.
I can't believe you said that.
Because I talk about God, I'm religious. I'm the church, yo. That's me.
Well, that's good.
I became the church.
You became the church. Wow.
And I'm like, dang, yo. I'm like, dang, you didn't even use spiritual or...
That's what they use, spiritual.
He jumped over spiritual. He said, you're religious. When I tell you that joint hurt my feelings for like 20 minutes, I was like, dang. But it opened me up to realizing how my love for God is also affecting my dating life. How there's so many people who probably are into the kid, but because I talk about God.
That's crazy.
It blew my mind. Emoji, I don't know if you edit, but you can put the emoji with the brain, like with the balloon.
I will.
Like,
this will be a clip.
That's how I felt. Like, it was like, ooh. Like, oh snap. It made me realize, like, there are people that probably enjoy me, really want to get to know me, like really, really. Mm-hmm. But because my content, because I just mentioned God, it might be too much to be with Curtis. Ooh,
that
but
really
honestly,
makes me sad.
It does, but honestly, it is too much to be with me. You're right, because God gonna get rid of you either like way. If you try to mess with me,
if you try to entertain it, God will remove it.
He'll remove it anyway. So saves us both time.
What is it about them being scared about if they find you are of your spiritual or religious? Like,
I think it's people not doing the work of the church trauma. And also what I don't like is that because I'm talking about God so confidently, I have not always been this person. You've known me forever. You've known me. My content was always positive.
It was.
But the referencing of God and scripture, like, that's new to me too.
That is.
I shocked myself. Like, especially when people comment like, I needed this. I'm like, you needed what? Like, from me?
That's mind blowing. Stuff like
so
that.
That's intimidating, right?
Yeah.
You know, we talk, especially in dating, people always talk about like the job, people have the money, the houses, the clothes. I can't be with that person because they wear this, or they go to this, or they hang out with these people. Sometimes, for anyone listening, watching, like, sometimes your relationship with God is also something where people are like, dang, if only they weren't as close to God, if they didn't hear. And I hear God, so I can't even turn it off.
Jeez Louise.
Like,
that's something too, you have to really keep your relationship with God in dating. That's so, that is so important. That is probably ruining me too, though.
Yeah. Also, when you love God as much as we do, your stomach gonna hurt. Something. Oh my God, you could be on the best date of your life.
Yeah.
And someone could say something and you go, wow. I've
been there.
That is not going to last.
I've been there. Just even on the phone, you can hear certain comments and you're like, nah.
Yeah, I stopped
But sometimes I feel like I'm overthinking stuff like that.
I know, but in the long run, you see that you were right.
See, that's where I feel like my self-confidence has definitely... When you're dating, you really have to hold on to what you believe in.
Ooh, that's good. You're right. You're right.
You really do.
And you have to, but also, even before, you need to know what you like.
Know what you
like. And I don't
like.
think a lot of people know what they like.
Okay, one, know what you like, and two, hold on to what you believe. I feel like
I love
sometimes you shake things off because you trying to please someone while dating.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
So terrible.
That's what happened to me. I feel like I went in dating so confident, like, oh, I know what I want, I'm a blah, blah, blah. Then the more I dated, I felt myself losing myself.
Yeah.
Losing confidence. And I was just like, what is going on? Like, I was in a better headspace.
But you know what it is? And I think it's and not to like villainize people, but it's the people that you are engaging with. Not because they're bad people, but if you go into we were literally just talking about this before the camera started. Mm-hmm. We want to be surrounded by people that if there's an Italian restaurant that I want to eat at and it's late or it seems late, I want to be around people that are like, let's go check to see if it's open, Curtis.
Yeah.
I don't want to be around people that are like, nah, it is Sunday at 6. No, I don't want to hear that. Let's walk, let's find it. Because you never know, we might find a new Thai spot right next door or something, right? And so I say that to say, like, when you're dating someone or you're going into dating, like, yes, I'm so happy to be on Tinder, and I am like enjoying this. This is fun. I want to be here. Yeah. And then you engage with someone that's like, oh, I haven't dated in a long time. Dating is so hard, but you're really cute. What the fuck am I supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to do with that? You want me to? Now I'm supposed to like you. Now I'm supposed to like you. And then we live in a generation that like literally rushes to sex. So it's like, now you want me to sleep with you and you told me that you don't know how you feel about something that I said I enjoy. Like, anyway, so.
What are your tips for self-worth for people?
Tips for self-worth?
Yeah, do you have any like tips that you can help the next person while they're dating?
Oh, while they're dating?
Yeah.
Well, we already started the list.
Oh,
first was
the first one.
What was it?
Oh my god. Wait. Know what you want.
Know what you want. Hold on to
what you believe in. Yes, we started the list.
Write it down. Know what you want. You have a pen?
Did I bring a pen?
Hopefully there's a pen.
Really annoyed.
Know what you want. Hold on to what you believe in.
I'm ashamed.
Hold on to what you believe in. And then third, invite them into your world.
Yeah, that's difficult.
Invite them into your world. Like, if you love going to museums,
which I do,
take them to museums.
Okay.
Stop trying to come up with a date or engage in a date that you would not. I mean, okay, maybe that's not good advice because you never know. You learn things. People like adventure. I get it. But, all right, let's just keep it at.
A part of it is
inviting them into your world.
Yes.
Right? Make sure that you're not dating someone. Make sure that they're also dating you.
Oh, I needed that.
That was the tip. That was number 3. That was that was really what it was.
That's really number 3.
Yeah, that was really number 3.
Make sure they're dating you.
Yeah. No.
What did you say?
Make sure they're not just dating you, that you're dating them too.
Oh, make sure. Okay, yeah. I try to shorten
But the person watching this is probably going to be like, that's not what you said. They're going to be like, actually, you said. And you're going to be like, yeah, you're right.
That's true.
That is what I said.
Can you tell a story when you felt like you were...
I'm like scared of the question, not scared. Tell a story about when I was...
Tell the story about, like, you started dating someone and then you automatically just knew you wasn't being your authentic self. I literally just came up with that. Wow.
That's good. That happens. That has happened more than I would like to admit.
Sorry, I'm laughing at his face expression.
No, this is why I love video. That's why we also talked about how visual I am.
Yeah.
This is why I love videos, because it's like you learn how people react to questions and things that they're going through. Like podcasts, you can only kind of imagine. But like visual, like when someone doesn't like a question, that's why social media is so popping. Those clips, those clickbait clips, because you be like, the question was really basic, but the body language of the person was like, what the fuck you ask me? But no, there's so many examples, but the one that comes to mind, it wasn't fresh. We had been talking for a while, and he was going through a tough season, and he basically, long story short, didn't want to talk about it. And I'm just a nurturing energy. I like, how are we gonna get through it? We gotta, and especially if there's romance, right? Like, we're not just friends, like, we're also trying to be romantic. And if this is the energy that we're giving, then we should be able to engage and help each other through seasons. And I'll just remember being at work and being on the phone, and him just being like, Curtis, I don't want to talk about it no more. And he had already said some things that sort of like sparked insecurity in me anyway. But that was my like final draw, because again, my natural state and natural being is nurturing and interactive. So when he said that, I was like, this is not gonna work. Like, this is not gonna, because this is who I am. Like, I can't, and I told this to my therapist too, maybe like 2 months ago. I can't be in a relationship with people, not just romantic friendship, where there is no like room for us to talk and engage, and for me to like ask questions. Like, one-sided, I can't do one-sided. So yeah, that's one example. But yeah, that one definitely.
That was good.
That was. Yeah.
What is something that you can help someone if they're going through a rough patch in dating?
Like a rough patch in dating?
Like, what's something positive you can help them with when they're going through a rough patch while dating? If they're non-Christian people.
Give me like a story. Give me like a scenario.
I love this.
Yeah.
A scenario. Okay.
And I only say that because dating is hard. That's what I'm trying to. Yes. Right. Like,
dating is hard in general.
Like, getting to know someone is hard, and it should be, right? Because we're two different people. Multiple people. If you're into that, there's multiple people that you're learning, and so it's going to be difficult. That's why I asked for a scenario.
Dating is hard. So that's generally where it's coming from with me when I say that, because it's hard to stay in a good place with dating when you notice it's hard. People are trash. And
no. People are not trash.
It's not. I know what I'm about to say.
Everyone's not doing the same work as you're doing.
Okay, so my scenario. I told Whitney this too. I was like, not
the name drop. Like, who's
I
Whitney?
told our mutual friend Whitney.
Shout out to the creative era.
I told her about the thing I've stuck with this whole year is people ain't shit, and the reason why I would stay with that is because the more you realize that, the more you're able to
No, I get it. I get what you're saying.
The more you're able to deal with people accordingly and not take everything personally.
No, I understand. I have a friend who I don't know if she still believes this, but she used to say, like, she didn't start like in terms of like a point system. It wasn't zero. You actually start at -20 and you work your way to zero to then go up. Because zero it's too easy. Like, and again, to your point, knowing, if we know that people come with their things and we come with our things, zero just doesn't make sense.
Yep.
Maybe -5. And then like you're like, ooh, all right, zero. So if I had to give advice about someone who is like struggling in love, finding love, or engaging love, I would say figure out why you want it so much. Because it's the truth, because sometimes you want it just to not think about your own shit. Like, sometimes your family gets on your nerves, and so you want a partner to take you on dates so you can get out the house. Instead of just like learning to love your family. And to your point, family is trash. like that. That's the culprit. Like, that's where, and that's where a lot of the issues of the people we date, it stems from that.
Yeah.
Right? And so, and you know, people like don't, you know, everything does go to childhood. It does. It does.
Everything.
It goes to childhood. And I'm not talking because social media has just taken a lot of like important words and made them like clickbait.
Yeah.
So I'm not just talking about traumatic situations. I'm literally just talking about not having a parent who says I love you, or not getting hugs. Something like those are big things too, but on the scale of what the internet wants you to always talk about, right? So yeah, just figure out why you want love so bad, because sometimes you want it as a distraction and not a actual. And love is powerful. That's why I'll never,
love is powerful.
No matter how much like heartbreak or whatever, breakup, whatever, love is too powerful for me to ever let someone ruin it. That joint, it heals.
It really does.
It makes you live longer. It makes jobs show up. Your skin will glow. I remember I used to tell my mom, I would be like, I look better in relationships. And she used to hate when I said that. And I get it now. Because you're giving that, you're giving it all. This is the only reason why I look good today. This is the only reason why I got this haircut.
People hang on to it.
This is the only reason why I'm wearing these bright colors now.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what it is too. People like want to think. People think that being with someone is gonna solve something.
Yeah, and sometimes it does. And that's also why breakups do happen too. Because sometimes you do date someone, you solve the thing, and then they must go. Right? I never thought about that either. That just came to me. But that's what happens, right? Like you come out of a breakup, but then you realize that you now know how to save money better, or you finally applied. Like literally the last relationship I was in, the one I told you about, where we prayed together, he was really influential in me using my voice, because he was into sending voice messages. And so when we first started sending voice messages, I would stutter a lot. You could hear the shyness and the awkwardness in my voice and all these things, and I'd just be like, oh, sorry, I'm stuttering, da 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 da. And then like I started my YouTube maybe like a month before we broke up or something. So like, you know, relationships do help. You know, love and romance, they do come for a reason. Like, so I found a voice. And to be clear, it's like, not that the person gave me a voice, but they just told me that my voice was valuable, or my voice was effective. And now look what I do with my voice. I'm on camera talking.
Look at that.
You see?
Wow.
Yeah. So shout out. I would say their name, but that's not.
Oh no.
That's not. We don't need to do that.
We don't need to.
They're good people though. No shade. I love all the people I've ever dated. I'm not one of those people that be like, F them, trash. No. No.
Oh, that's good.
They're great people. They'll be great with other people.
Yeah.
They just weren't great with me, and that's okay.
That's what it can be too. Like sometimes the match isn't for you. That person is not for you, or it doesn't happen, or it's not supposed to last. You can look at it like that. That's how I was so positive in the beginning. Like I was just like, oh, I'm learning so much about me. Like that didn't work out, but like now I know I don't want that type of thing no more. So that I can tell that definitely helped me in the beginning of it.
Yeah, and you hear stories.
Like,
go finish.
I feel like the way things started to shift, I think, when I went to Chicago for a couple months.
Yes.
I think that's where I feel like my way of looking at dating shifted.
For sure, because first I wanted to say to your thing about the time frame, because you also hear stories, I've heard stories of couples who move together to a new city, and then they break up when they get there. Sometimes you just need the person, like God will send you the person to help you move. Moving is easier when you do it with somebody else, right? So it's not always like we're gonna take over this city together. Sometimes that's true too. We know those love stories, but sometimes it's also like God has put us together so we can get here together and then go on our own paths. Because we may be in this city for two different reasons. But then I love what you said about like how it changed when you went to Chicago, because also being New Yorkers, there's a certain like energy, and
oh yeah,
there's certain energy and language and interactions that you become so accustomed to, and that aren't real, and that aren't fruitful, but they're what we know, right?
Yeah.
And so when you go to a new place and you really just have to go, hi, my name is Camilla, and the person goes, cool, I'm Danny, and that's it. He don't care where you live, who your friends are. If you went to Soho,
the New York standard
he doesn't
is different.
No mutual friends. He don't know nobody you know. He don't know nobody you know. I love that.
That's true.
And you deserve that.
I never realized that.
Everybody deserves that.
I realized that there's a New York standard of dating, and I spoke to my friend Kay, and she was like, LA standard is so crazy. I'm like, LA standard? Is that like a thing? She was like, yo, LA has a standard. I didn't. I was like, wait, New Yorkers have a standard too.
Yeah. And I don't think even being a native New Yorker, I don't think at my core it matches the New York standard.
Really?
Yeah. I'm very traditional, like monogamy. I want a marriage. I want a kid. Like I'm so and like New York is fun. Like the girls come here to have fun. The girls come here to be with multiple people, to go on the rooftop. Not to do that on purpose, but it affords you. New York affords that opportunity for you to date multiple people. To go to LeBain with this person, go to Soho with go to Soho with that person, Lower East Side with this crew, right? But like, but then when you go outside with that person, then they're like, oh, I just went on a date with that person last week. It's like, why we all have that friend or that person in our lives that every time you go somewhere, they worried about running into somebody they was interacting with. It's like,
that's a small world for them to worry about that.
And you're also not, that means you're also not like dating outside of what you know. That's also changing for me too. Another thing that has shifted my like eagerness for love, I don't desire black love anymore either.
Wow.
Yeah. And I feel like that restricted me for a long time. Because I was
really?
Yeah, because I was just like, I am going to be a gay man with another black gay man, and we are going to set the trend, and we're going to show them that two black gay men can love God and keep fruit, and those things are possible, and that could totally happen. But also, I need to, going back to standard, I need to open my standard and know that I deserve love, period. And I deserve love, period. And if I'm fighting for one type of love, I might be missing out on so many things. Again, I might miss out on 3 months of an amazing adventure with my Asian boyfriend. Right? Yeah. Like, what the fuck? Like, I could have a great time. Like, who knows what him and I could do in 3 months. Right? And I could still end up with my black king, but either way, I need to know that I deserve love and romance. Because if we're only looking for love and romance from one type of person, one kind of person, we miss out.
I believe in that too. I feel like a lot of people, even I feel like I do it too. Like we look a side eye at someone in an interrelationship. But at the end of the day, like, it's okay to love who you want to love. It really is.
But I think sometimes it's sometimes that's why I don't like to do podcasts, because I have a lot of unpopular opinions. But I do think sometimes it's jealousy that the person was brave enough to break their standard. I don't think it has anything to do with, I mean, sometimes it has to do with, oh, look at them with the thing, with the black, white, and. But sometimes really what it is like, dang, sis, you were brave enough to say that you are not going to wait for a black man to give you that love. Wow. I could never, sis.
My mind has changed officially.
I could never, queen. I could never. You didn't wait for your black king, queen. Wow, you said you wanted love, so you went the other way.
I can hear someone
You chose
saying
love.
That.
Wow, you chose love, queen. Even though he's white, you chose love over black king.
Wow.
Wow, you didn't wait
My mind is.
You didn't want to wait?
Why wait?
Why? It's Snickers? What are we doing? What are we doing? A lot of this also stems from my upbringing. I was in the absolute honor and privilege to see both my parents together growing up. So I know what the two-parent home thing looks like. But as I got older, and especially after my mom passed, I really thought about her relationship to my dad and what she wanted versus what he gave her. And then, and my mom wanted to be married. My parents weren't married, and they were together for 40 plus years.
What?
My dad never married my mom, and now he's married to my wonderful bonus mom.
What?
Yes. Yes.
What?
But you know what I think it is? Because my mom wasn't brave enough to say, if you don't give me that, I will leave you.
That's what it is.
Because she needs a black king. She has to stay with him. Because what would she do without her black king? And my dad is an amazing man, period. He ain't perfect.
That's your little twin.
He's amazing. He's amazing. Oh, cut to a picture of him. He's not perfect, but my mom waited. And this is a true story. And then you guys see another question because it's going to take a left. But my mom, they did not get married. And my mom, when she passed, she asked us to dress her in white so that she could marry God.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. And but what if my mom would have put her foot down?
That's true too.
I may not have been here, but dang, at least, you know. So that's also like generational curses too. Ooh, that's a whole other thing too. Love as a generational curse, because you know, people be in relationships just because their parents like them, but they don't like them. But but
that is a whole nother thing.
You didn't hear that from me.
Yeah. I think someone recently asked me about, like, what do you think it is, and blah, blah, about me dating. I was like, I think I see my mom so comfortable being alone that it might trickle down to me.
Yeah. And also, we know that, first of all, black women just have just been given this narrative to do it all.
Yeah.
Right? To survive, to make it work.
Yeah.
Right? And I do think that a lot of women get to a point where they're like, if I have to do this like societal norm and be this superwoman and find love in a man that's not giving me what I want, I will choose the work than that. Like, I will choose this over the love thing because I don't have time to raise him too. I don't have time to go through that with him too. I'm already trying to be a wonderful mother. I want to, we see all of the internet with the soft life and black girl luxury and all this. Black women specifically are like, yo, I need to take care of myself.
Yeah. Because
I feel like a lot of young women and black women, again, have spent a lot of time looking for love or waiting for love to go on these luxurious trips, right? And that's why we see all these vlogs of these girls being like, I took myself to Dubai, right? I went to San Jose by myself. Like, go, sis. And you never know, you might meet the guy there, right? You might meet the person there. So, yes, I come against all like love generational curses, and there's nothing wrong with being independent and being able to get things done. But but it's for someone who, if you're listening, watching, and you desire love, and you're also that kind of archetype, know that the love should make it easier. The love should engage. That's what Tracee Ellis Ross said. Yeah. Tracee Ellis Ross. She said that. She said, I can have anybody I want.
I love when she said that.
She's like, I can have anybody I want. You think I just want you to be around? That's annoying. That's annoying. I could go get a burger and sit by myself and laugh.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to just have you around because, ew, no. What a waste.
This was an important conversation for real.
I know. And you always, before I agreed to this, Camilla, she interviewed me a month into me moving to Atlanta with $300.
Oh my God.
And I ended up living there for 2 years successfully and like having a wonderful time. So I'm just really curious about what this video around the subject of love is going to do for our love lives. And it's you hold space, but also words are powerful, right? And so that's what's great about what you do, and you hold space for people to really be themselves. Like I'm not pretending. Those were really my answers. That's really how I freaking feel. I literally am on camera now saying that I don't desire black love. This is going to be on the internet. You know, the internet lives. So this is going to be fun.
I have a question after every episode.
Yeah. What is it?
Yo, do you have a question for someone to ask themselves?
Oh, yes. You do have that.
Yeah.
Yes, we were talking about that. My question to the audience and to everyone listening and watching is, if you desire love in this new season of your life, in the great words of Cardi B, what was the reason?
I love that. I feel like that
what was the reason? And then cut to Cardi B screaming, what was the reason?
What was the reason?
What was the reason? What was the reason?
What was the reason?
What was the reason?
You do have to kind of... That's why it's important to ask yourself questions. I really, really believe in asking yourself questions and kind of getting yourself on the right track. Because I feel like whatever your answer is, it should kind of be like, okay, maybe I was doing it for the wrong reasons. Because that guy, I forget his name, Matthew Hussey, he said something. Before I went on a date, I watched him. And he said something about, like, if you're nervous before you go on a date, that means your expectations are wrong. That means you're probably going to be someone else. You're going to try to be someone else that you're not. And I was like, what? So it made me think about, like,
if you are nervous.
Yes, I'm gonna show you the clip because he said it on one of my favorite podcasts.
Cut to the clip.
If you are getting crazy nervous on a date, you're already that's already a reflection of the fact that you've valued the wrong things, because you're valuing this person's looks or their status or what you perceive them to be, but you're not valuing them in a relationship or in relation to you, which is defined by how much they give, how they connect with you, how they relate to you, how they see you. All of that stuff is you're at a zero. So how can you be nervous if you're valuing the right things? You can only be nervous if you're valuing the wrong things.
I don't know if I agree.
Yes, it really changed.
I don't know if I agree.
I'm gonna show you the clip right now after we're done.
I feel you.
But thank you for doing this.
No, thank you for having me. This is so good.
I'm really excited to edit this because it's gonna be really fun.
And I'm excited to, like we talked about, I'm excited to see what happens in our love lives because of this video.
Yeah.
You know, we could meet somebody on our way walking out this park.
I don't know about all that, but
look, she's scared. She's not ready.
It's not that I'm not ready. It's just, I don't know. I feel like I'm
not you looking
jaded.
Around.
I'm just like trying to look around.
Imagine your dream person's like watching you right now. The soulmate is like.
I feel like sometimes I'm a little jaded.
Over there with the
so I'm a little jaded right now, but I think that I feel more comfortable with me, and I feel like when I meet somebody, it should be natural and not me trying to work and strive hard to find someone.
I like that.
So that's where I'm at.
I like that. I like what you said better than what that guy said.
Oh.
About the nervous. And maybe that's what he meant.
Maybe.
But I like how you worded it.
Maybe I'm wording Matthew Hussey wrong, but I'll show you the
Either way, I like what you said.
Oh gosh. Bye.
Later.